My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake. Welcome, and happy Wednesday. What a happy South Lake morning this is. I'm so glad you're here. Today we have an amazing show. I'm feeling wonderful and refreshed. Someday when I have time, I might tell you why I don't every now and then. But it is going to be an amazing show. Look, if you're watching us on the socials, please like, love, share. If you're not watching us on the socials, go to our Facebook page. Like our Facebook page, go to YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube. You can get notifications of all of our fine quality programming. Also, we still have those Spotlight sponsorships open. Don't miss out, because Jay and I are pushing real hard to get them filled. So if they get filled, you're going to lose out. All right, what are we going to do on the show today? Today is National Walk to School Day. We're going to talk about that. We are also going to talk about how to show support for breast cancer victims, and it's much easier than you think it is. We're going to talk about taking personal responsibility in the present. And finally, we're going to hear from Trish Kry, who is the director of the Faith Neighborhood Center in Groveland, who is going to be our guest today. I'm so excited. I've heard about her from several different sources. Knew I had to reach out to her and get her on the show. Just finished a pre-interview with her. This is going to be absolutely amazing, so don't miss it. We are going to hear from our family of sponsors. When we get back, we're going to get right to it. So I'll see you in a minute.
Hello, I'm Mary Rhodes with the mortgage firm, your local mortgage lender. I've helped thousands of families achieve the dream of homeownership in Lake County, and I would love to help you. Please read our reviews and visit us at mortgagefirmpros.com.
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room. Located in the heart of downtown Clearmont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica's Tea Room, making memories with every cup.
The best things in life aren't items we can grab and hold. They are the moments that grab and hold us. Moments that captivate us, inspire us, and enrich us. Moments that bring joy, strength, and peace. At Sing Insurance and Financial Services, we help you to treasure these times by being there when life's most difficult moments arise. Through our services, you will find independence, flexibility, health, and security that will prosper and protect your life. Whether you are driving that new car, buying that new home, opening that new business, or building a new family, we provide you the peace of mind and freedom to enjoy life's best things. Your next moment is waiting. Are you ready?
Welcome back. Good to hear from our family of sponsors. You know, on a quick side note, I say that, and it's not some cheesy thing. We here at the station really feel that we have a family of sponsors. They have become our partners in what we're trying to do here, where we spotlight, educate, inform, and entertain the people of South Lake, and to inform the world about South Lake. So if you want to take part in that journey with us, please reach out to us. You know how to do it. Well, we're going to talk about, today is National Walk to School Day. You know, this seems to be an art that is lost for most kids today. You know, my children joke with me all the time that I tell this story, but when I was in high school, I lived in a house that was literally 5 miles away from the school. There was no bus service down that particular road, and if I missed mom going out for work, which I did because I was a teenager, I had to walk. Even when I lived closer to the school, I had to walk, and this is no joke, uphill a mile in the snow because I lived in Concord, New Hampshire.
It sounds like a fable, Joe.
It's not a fable, Jay. It's actually true. And if I took the wrong way home, I had to walk uphill in the snow home too. So walk to school. I think this is one of the reasons that kids today have an obesity problem we didn't have 30, 40 years ago, because many, many more kids were expected to walk to school. Look, I get it. You're concerned about your kids. There's safety issues. But in some degree, we walked in groups. I mean, nobody was going to mess with one of us that wasn't getting screamed at by the rest. So anyways, walk to school day. It's something to consider. Breast cancer victim support. Look, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I wanted to talk a little bit today about how to support breast cancer victims. It is a whole lot easier than you think. This tends to be a very personal issue. So you may actually know somebody who is struggling with this that you don't know is struggling with this. It affects hundreds of thousands of women and tens of thousands of men each and every single year. Thankfully, because of the work of the American Cancer Society, other societies and research, the awareness of this month and the monies that have gone into it, mortality rates for breast cancer have gone way, way down. But there's still people, they get sick and they have to deal with surgeries and medication. The best way to support them, wear pink this month. Wear something, commit in your heart to wear something pink every single day. I guarantee you the people you work and play with will notice, and they may never say anything, but they will be encouraged by the fact that you're aware of it and you're supporting them. And it also wouldn't hurt to reach into your pocket and send $10 to a local breast cancer foundation. There's one in every single town. You just need to go on Google. Personal responsibility. This is a subject that is very tough. As a parent of children, this was something that you really needed to teach people. And I found at a crazy time in my life that while I entered into trying to teach my children, that there were some things I wasn't either doing well or didn't know enough about. And in all honesty, we talked about taking responsibility for the past and your part in things that happened. That was true. But another thing that I had a real hard time was taking responsibility for the present, in the present, right now. There was a time that I had gone through a big change in my life. I hadn't been a good husband for years. I disappointed my wife and my children, and there came a point in my life where my life turned around, that I started to figure it out and figure out how important they were to me and do some work. And every now and then something would happen, something where I wasn't necessarily at fault, that I hadn't done anything wrong, but there was an appearance of it, and my wife would lose her mind. The truth is, I had to take responsibility for that. I knew, I was fortunate to understand that my wife was reacting like that because I had taught her that every time X happened, Y happened. It took some years for me to live out my life properly, for her to understand that when X happened, Y wasn't going to happen, Z was going to happen, and Z was going to happen with her. If you want your life to change, you need to find a way to accept responsibility for the things in your life today. That can be just as simple as saying, I was wrong. There's no shame and fault in being wrong. We all make mistakes. We all do things we shouldn't do. I'm not talking about wrong, but wrong if you had. I was wrong, but I was trying to. I was wrong. Now, we can go into that a little more deeply on another episode, but just be encouraged that if you really want your life to change, and if you want to have effects in what we're going to talk about tomorrow, which is taking responsibility for the future, you have to take responsibility for today. And that means changing what you've done in the past and accepting responsibility for the mistakes that you make. Finally, today we're going to talk to Trish Kry. I am so excited to finally get her. I have heard about her through several resources. As we started to move into October and November, it's time to really think about the others in our community which are less fortunate. Trish runs the Faith Neighborhood Center. We're going to hear from her as soon as we come back from hearing from our family of sponsors. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Purchasing a home? Hi, I'm Mary Rhodes with the Mortgage Firm, your local direct lender for FHA, VA, conventional, and USDA mortgages. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a seasoned investor, or looking to purchase a vacation home, we can help. Visit our website today for more information.
Saturday night, October 5th, Claremont, Florida, get ready as Local Pro Wrestling presents Fight Fest, featuring 6 hard-hitting matches, including the Technical Alchemist, David Mercury, against Aaron Epic. In the semi-main event, a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal, and former TNA superstar Mr. 630 Jarrell Clark. And the main event for the evening, former WWF WCW superstar, the Cuban Assassin, takes on the marquee Bruce Santee. Adult tickets are $15 and children ages 5 to 12 are only $10. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite. For more details, follow us on Facebook at Local Pro Wrestling or visit localprowrestling.com. Come support Local Pro Wrestling live.
The best things in life aren't items we can grab and hold. They are the moments that grab and hold us. Moments that captivate us, inspire us, and enrich us. Moments that bring joy, strength, and peace. At Sing Insurance and Financial Services, we help you to treasure these times by being there when life's most difficult moments arise. Through our services, you will find independence, flexibility, health, and security that will prosper and protect your life. Whether you are driving that new car, buying that new home, opening that new business, or building a new family, we provide you the peace of mind and freedom to enjoy life's best things. Your next moment is waiting. Are you ready?
Hello, I'm Mary Rhodes with the Mortgage Firm, your local mortgage lender. I've helped thousands of families achieve the dream of homeownership in Lake County, and I would love to help you. Our team has over 30 years of experience helping first-time homebuyers, veterans, move-up buyers, seasoned investors, and more. Please read our reviews and visit us at mortgagefirmpros.com.
Welcome back. I have Trish Kry with me from the Faith Neighborhood Center. I am so glad to have her with us. She's doing such important work in the community. And you know, the truth is, Trish, I heard about you long before I started doing this project, Joe Knows South Lake. Had done some work with food banks and collecting food as a realtor through my open houses. And when I first came here, I started looking for places to do the same thing. And your name and Faith Neighborhood Center kept coming up, and it was all under your direction. So when people suggested to me that I needed to talk to you, I got right on the phone. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Trish Kry is the director of the Neighborhood Faith Center. She is a founding member of the Food Providers of South Lake. We're going to talk about that a little bit. She is a former Health Academy teacher at South Lake High School. She is a nurse and taught in the RN program at Lake Sumter College South Lake campus, and she is the proud mom of 2 children, one adult that she's grandly proud of, and a special needs child she is also grandly proud of. And we're going to hear a little bit about all of this. Trish, tell us a little bit about the Faith Neighborhood Center.
Well, the Faith Neighborhood Center has been operating in South Lake County, serving the community since 1972. It was actually started in a Sunday school classroom at First United Methodist Church of Claremont. And over the years, it grew out of that, went to different places in the community, not really having a permanent home until just about 3 years ago. We moved into our own 6,000 square foot facility on Timber Village Road. and that's the first time
Hang
we've
on a
had
second.
it.
Do you have any of those pictures, Jay? Can you bring one of them up? This is. I want to interrupt you because I know the 2 times I've been there, this has been absolutely amazing to me. It looks like a grocery store warehouse. This is the picture up on the screen if you want to look over there.
Yes.
Tell us what we're looking at here.
Well, what you're looking at is a delivery from Second Harvest of fresh produce, and as well as dried, as well as canned goods, frozen meats, fresh produce, and as soon as it comes in, it gets put into use.
This is another picture, some more storage. I imagine this is dry storage.
Yes, and in our warehouse, when all those shelves are full like that, that's about 2.5 weeks worth of food.
Wow, so you constantly need to be bringing food in.
Constantly.
Tell us, just off the top of your head, you were telling me the other day, how many families are you serving?
Right now we have 1,412 families that come in twice a month, and they can also come in weekly for bread and produce, the things that kind of go bad. We have, that equals to about 5,000 individuals.
Hit me with that number again. That's not per month. That's every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, 1,412 families.
Plus weekly deliveries for bread and other produce that goes, that needs a little fresher.
Yes, they can come in.
Delivery.
They can come in twice during the month for the full food, and then they can come in and get the bread and produce because that's not going to last every week.
And you were starting to say that's.
It's about 5,300 individuals that make up those families.
My goodness. Now the other thing is, you started telling me the other day about what that represents. There's I think there's sometimes a mentality that the person getting the food bank food, they're old or disabled, or they live on the poor side of town, or maybe they're homeless and lazy or drug addicted. It's not the truth. You were telling me some of the occupations that were represented.
A lot of our families, the majority of our families are two-person hardworking families. We have police officers, even Lake County Sheriff's deputies who qualify under the USDA guidelines. We have EMTs, firefighters, CNAs, school teachers, anybody you can think of that's in a service industry that serves us and provides us with what we need. Most of them can qualify to be clients at our center because of what they make, and the wages are low and the cost in this area is high.
Now, I would imagine, too, that you have to deal an awful lot with anonymity because it's got to be hard for these people. Again, we're not talking about those that are gaming the system. We're talking about people who work really hard and have swallowed their pride to come help their families.
Yes, it's very humbling to see when they come in, and the first time they come in and we're trying to make them feel comfortable because they don't want to be there. They don't want to be seeking help. It's really a matter of necessity. And we do everything we can to make it as dignified a process as possible.
That's always good to hear because, some years ago I did work with a food bank that didn't last very long, and they didn't make the process dignified. They pretty much looked down on the people that they were serving, which I never got. Why would you get into it at all? You said something to me earlier that really kind of stuck in my head about bringing your community health perspective to Faith Neighborhood Center. Can you explain that a little bit to me?
Yes. Well, at heart, I'm a community health nurse. I've been a nurse for 30 years. It's hard to believe, but it's true. And,
you started when you were 10, right?
Exactly. So, and community health is my love. And when I first came to the neighborhood center, there was a lot of processed foods, and part of that was because of the constraints on us from where we were currently located. But since we've moved, our whole process has been on healthy foods, providing health education, nutritional education, least processed foods, fresh produce, breads, frozen meats, things that are in the least processed form when we can, and relying on those other forms like canned vegetables as a supplement. So our whole goal is to provide our clients with healthy foods, and those, of course, are the most expensive foods to try to shop for.
Now, I know on your website it says something about feeding and education.
Yes.
I think actually Jay is probably about to here. He just brought that up. So tell us a little bit about the education. Are you there it is. Feeding and instructing the hungry.
Yes.
Tell us about instructing the hungry a little bit.
One of our goals is to help our clients get to a higher level. So for some of them, they're already been through college or different certifications and they don't need it. But for others, they need the actual computer classes, educational classes. And then also there's nutritional education that we all could use, financial education, which if I'd known before I was 50 years old I needed, I would have been in better shape. So bringing that to our clients to help them in all aspects of their life, not just handing a bag of food over, but being able to offer those other services is a real goal of ours.
And see, this is one of the things that attracted me to the Faith Neighborhood Center is the concept that you're not just feeding their belly. You're helping them move to a place where they maybe cannot be the one in need, but the one giving. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about, we talked in your introduction about being a founding member of the Food Providers of South Lake. Give us a brief description of the purpose of that.
Okay. Well, we recently formed, it's been about 6 months, and the Food Providers of South Lake is a group of people who are dedicated to feeding, to making sure people have what they need as far as food and food services. What we realized is that we all were working independently, just in our own little silos. By joining together, we're stronger. We can offer programs. We can help eliminate some duplication in programs whenever it really comes down to how many people we can serve by not having that duplication. One of our first ventures was the summer feeding program for the children this summer. So Real Life Church, which is one of the other founding members, they joined with us, and we fed about 505 children just through Faith Neighborhood Center for the 10 weeks of summer by providing them with 2 weeks of food in boxes to take home. And I believe that Real Life did somewhere around 735 children. They had a bigger area than us. But by working together and ensuring there wasn't duplications, we were able to serve so many more children just by doing that.
What is the purpose of avoiding the duplication? That's a big thing. I know that through that organization you coordinate with all the other food banks in the area, at least the member food banks in the area, to avoid duplication. What is duplication?
Duplication, especially when it's a specific program, it's Thanksgiving, it's summer feeding. Duplication is when a client goes to more than one site. And then what happens is if we had clients who were signed up both at Real Life and at Faith Neighborhood Center, the number of children we would have been able to feed would have been a lot less. So by making sure that people were only signed up for a special program at a specific site, we were able to reach more children and make sure those children got what they needed through the summer. Kids really have stress when it comes to going on summer vacation because Lake County Schools gives free and reduced free lunch to every child there. So every child in South Lake and Lake County Schools, in other words, gets free lunch. So when they go on a vacation for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for summer, there isn't that food that they're used to getting. There isn't that breakfast and lunch, and it causes them great stress. We try to eliminate that stress by doing this. But if there's people going to more than one spot, then that takes away, and we have to stop signing up kids.
Now, Trish and I had talked a little bit earlier about, and she's too nice to talk about it, but the reality is that there is a whole sector, unfortunately, of the populace that will try to hit 8-10 food banks and then take that food out to a flea market somewhere and sell it on a $5 table at a discount. But I was just very taken by this concept because it's good stewardship of the resources that you have. Just trying to extend. You're not trying to deny anything to anybody, but you are trying to make sure that the people who abuse don't abuse without being obnoxious about it. I want to switch gears here for real second because we're coming into Thanksgiving. People associate Thanksgiving with, hey, I should give some food to the food bank. A lot of churches do the food drive. I'm sure you appreciate all of that.
We do.
But I'm sure you can carry. Money has a different ability. Tell us a little bit about how far you can take money.
Well, money goes a lot further. Between our Grocery Alliance partners, which is the grocers, the local grocers in the area, and Second Harvest Food Pantry, Food Bank, we can take $10 and feed a family of 4, 3 meals a day for 4 days. $10 basically turns into $90 if you went to the local grocery store. So no matter what kind of BOGO or sale you got, it's impossible to beat what we can do with that same $10 into feeding people. And when you're talking numbers like we have, 1,412. That's a huge number of people, families coming in. Money can extend it quite a ways, because it's anything you give dollar-wise, we multiply by 9 as far as what the return is that we get. And we can really stretch that money and make ends meet. And also we can order food that is exactly what is needed for what we're missing. And so things can be very orderly, easily packed, and we can get them out there. We always appreciate donations, but the money always tends to go further.
Well, let me ask you this, and what are the things you get the most of that you don't need, and what are the things you get the least of that you most need?
One of the things we usually run low on is a big one is boxed cereals, canned meats. Those are the things that are expensive, and canned vegetables. We get a lot of, after the holidays, cranberry sauce and pumpkin because nobody
The people
used
didn't
them.
use it.
And-
Wait, hang on. Please don't do that. That's just tacky, and it's selfish. Okay? Save it till next year. It's canned. It'll keep. Don't buy it next year. I know it says Best Buy, but they're lying. It'll be fine next year. Okay, go on. I'm sorry.
So we get a lot of things like that. We always say that there's always somebody for everything that gets donated, and it's been proven time and time again when interesting things have come in, like a whole squid in a jar and things like that. But a lot of times we end up with box after box of pumpkin and cranberries and things of that nature that we really don't have any use for.
So, what is, you said canned meat, you said, now I've heard peanut butter and 2-ply toilet paper.
Peanut butter and 2-ply toilet paper is really big. At the end of the month, we let our clients pick hygiene items. You can't use your food stamps to buy personal items.
Makes sense.
And so toilet paper, feminine supplies, toothbrushes, toothpaste, deodorant, things like that. You have to understand these families are going to work. They have jobs.
Yeah.
They go to school. They need those essentials so that they can present themselves well at where they are. And so those things not only build self-esteem, but they also allow people to continue on working those jobs that serve us.
Do you have a slow time or a busy time of the year? Maybe that you get more requests at the holidays or in the summer, or a time where you get less requests because of, I don't know why?
We used to. Now it just seems like there's never a slow time. As the housing market has gotten tighter and more expensive, we have so many families that what we consider is we're feeding the hungry, but we're really doing family stabilization because they're able to shift their money to housing
Right.
instead
Yeah,
of
makes sense.
food. So it kind of stabilizes them that way, and it allows them to be able to go on living where they're living or to get into an apartment or a house. So it's really a family stabilization program. And it used to be that we would have slumps, but nowadays we never have a slow period. The population's growing. Summer tends to be a little more need because our service industry workers don't have as much work during the summer. The theme parks are slower.
Right, yep.
The restaurants are slower.
They're not getting the tips.
So
Yep.
they're not getting the tips and things like that. So summer it tends to be more needs, and we see maybe more families sign on, but it just tends to be constant.
Can I assume that your clients are primarily the elderly and families with children?
They are the elderly, families with children, some disabled, but what we're seeing a lot of is we're seeing grandparents who are raising their grandchildren,
Oh, yeah.
and their retirement was not meant to
To raise
raise
kids,
more kids. They, you plan on your expenses going down as you get older, and now they're raising grandchildren and great grandchildren, and that is an age group probably from 50s into their 70s and 80s that
Wow.
we're seeing grandparents. Some of them are still working or have gone back to work in order to support these children that they're raising, and it's really sad to see. Grandparents should never have to be the primary caregiver.
Right, yeah.
They should be the fun people.
Right.
They shouldn't have to be the parents.
The bad guy.
The bad guy. And we see them, and they come in and they say, I'm just at a loss because I never planned on raising toddlers again and school-age children again.
Do you know, it gives us a lot to think about. Trish, thank you so much for coming out here and giving us taking away the mythology and giving us a real idea of what it is like on the ground. Look, I want to let you know that you can be. I want to encourage you, be the guy that does one thing. Trish has talked about some things that you can do, okay? The things that she's short of. We're going to have a peanut butter drive here in the month of Thanksgiving. I want you to determine in your heart, look, you can be the guy that goes and buys 2 extra underarm deodorants, one man, one woman, every single time you go to the store. At the end of the month, at the end of 2 months, at the end of 3 months, you could just run by and drop it off. You can be that guy that makes a difference in somebody's life. And it costs you what? $6, $8? You know, when you're giving the stuff away, you can buy the cheap stuff. Okay? And it's not expensive every time you go to the store. You won't even miss it. So I want to encourage you, keep doing what you normally do. If you donate a lot at Thanksgiving, yeah, go ahead and do that. But think about doing something regularly to help support these kind of organizations and the people who aren't as fortunate as you are. All right, well, that's our time. Again, I want to thank Trish for coming out so much. I want to say, please like, love, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook. Want to further say that if you know somebody who should be a guest here on Joe Knows South Lake, please reach out to me. I'm sure Jay has the contact information up already. If you know somebody or you should be one of our Spotlight sponsors, please reach out to me again. If you wait till next year, these spots are all going to be gone. You'll miss out. Finally, I'd like to say there is greatness inside you. Just like Trish has done in her life, dare to let that greatness out. I'll see you tomorrow, and I love you. Bye-bye. My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe Knows South Lake.